25 Ways to Suppress Truth. The Rules of Disinformation. By H. Michael Sweeney, 1997.
10. Associate opponent charges with old news. A derivative of the straw man, usually, in any large-scale matter of high visibility, someone will make charges early on which can be or were already easily dealt with. Where it can be foreseen, have your own side raise a straw man issue and have it dealt with early on as part of the initial contingency plans. Subsequent charges, regardless of validity or new ground uncovered, can usually then be associated with the original charge and dismissed as simply being a rehash, without need to address current issues, so much the better where the opponent is, or was, involved with the original source. Example: Flight 553's crash was pilot error, according to the NTSB findings. Digging up new witnesses who say the CIA brought it down at a selected spot, and were waiting for it with 50 agents, won't revive that old dead horse buried by NTSB more than 20 years ago. Defense: You are avoiding the issue with disinformation tactics. You ignore the issues and imply they are old charges as if new information is irrelevant. Why do you refuse to address the issues by use of such disinformation tactics? 11. Establish and rely upon fallback positions. Using a minor matter or element of the facts, take the high road and confess with candor that some innocent mistake, in hindsight, was made, but that opponents have seized on the opportunity to blow it all out of proportion and imply greater criminalities which just isn't so. Others can reinforce this on your behalf, later. Done properly, this can garner sympathy and respect for coming clean and owning up to your mistakes without addressing more serious issues. Example: Reno admitted in hindsight she should have taken more time to question the data provided by subordinates on the deadliness of CS4 and the likely Davidian response to its use, but she was so concerned about the children that she elected, in what she now believes was a sad and terrible mistake, to order the tear gas be used. Defense: You are avoiding the issue with disinformation tactics. You evade the true issue by focusing on a side issue in an attempt to evoke sympathy. Perhaps you did not know that CIA public relations expert Mark Richards was called in to help Janet Reno with the Waco aftermath response. How warm and fuzzy feeling it makes us, so much so that we are to ignore more important matters. Why do you refuse to address the issues by use of such disinformation tactics? 12. Enigmas have no solution. Drawing upon the overall umbrella of events surrounding the crime and the multitude of players and events, paint the entire affair as too complex to solve. This causes those otherwise following the matter to begin to lose interest more quickly without having to address the actual issues. Example: I don't see how you can claim Vince Foster was murdered since you can't prove a motive. Before you could do that, you would have to completely solve the whole controversy over everything that went on in the White House in Arkansas, and even then, you would have to know a heck of a lot more about what went on within the NSA, the Travel Office, and on, and on, and on. It's hopeless. Give it up. Defense: You are avoiding the issue with disinformation tactics. You completely evade issues and discourage others from daring to solve it by making it a much bigger mountain than necessary. Why do you refuse to address the issues by use of such disinformation tactics? 13. Alice in Wonderland logic. Avoid discussion of the issues by reasoning backwards with an apparent deductive logic in a way that forbears any actual material fact. Example: The news media operates in a fiercely competitive market where stories are gold. This means they dig for the story, often doing a better job than law enforcement. If there was any evidence that BATF had prior knowledge of the Oklahoma City bombing, they would surely have uncovered it and reported it. They haven't reported it, so there can't have been any prior knowledge. Put up or shut up. Defense: You are avoiding the issue with disinformation tactics. Your backwards logic does not work here. Has media reported CIA killed Kennedy when they knew it? No. Despite their presence at a courtroom testimony confession by CIA operative Marita Lornez in a liable trial between E. Howard Hunt and Liberty Lobby, they only told us the trial verdict. Why do you refuse to address the issues by use of such disinformation tactics? 14. Demand complete solutions. Avoid the issues by requiring opponents to solve the crime at hand completely, for which works best items qualifying for rule number 10. Example: Since you know so much, if James Earl Ray is innocent as you claim, who really killed Martin Luther King? How was it planned and executed? How did they frame Ray and fool the FBI, and why? Defense: You are avoiding the issue with disinformation tactics. It is not necessary to completely resolve any whole matter in order to examine any relative attached issue. Why do you refuse to address the issues by use of such disinformation tactics?
The previous video has been an unpaid public service announcement, brought to you by Anonymous. We are Legion. We do not forgive. We do not forget.
Look out!